Welcome to our Frogger game. After entering the game, the main menu appears, and there are 4 different sections for you to choose and play. We achieve the effect by defining a function that will detect the input of users and change the color of corresponding mode only if the users input the number of that mode. Then, by using the if condition, the code will only enter the corresponding mode if the users press enter. This enables the user to choose mode which has much time for consideration as they like. Let's choose the first one, Game Tutorial. After we press 1, the color of the option changes, and then pressing enter to continue. Now we're at the tutorial. As it indicates, the player P can be moved left and right using A and D. After you reach 2 T's, the next tutorial is continued. Now you not only need to add W to control the player to move forward, but also avoid the green blocks. Then the next part dictates you can also use directional signs to control the player, and the basic principle is the same. Finally, you are informed that in the real game, those obstacles are moving horizontally. Let's focus on the code. The code implements the tutorial by using a while loop and break the loop only if the users achieve each goal. Then the code will show the instruction and comment on the performance. During the process, we call the main game functions, which will be introduced later. We also use some if conditions to make sure there won't be error if the users make wrong moves. Now you finish the tutorial, and we can play the game. Press 2. The option changes color as before, followed by enter to start the game. Firstly, the size of the map needs to be determined. If a number which is not in the range, it will be showing on the screen out of range. Let's see the code. A function is created to get users' input of the height and width of the map. We also use while loop, try, and if conditions to avoid wrong input or input that is out of range. And the next function is where we create the map. We use different symbols to represent the player, the edge, and the car. And the draw game area function displays the map according to the data collected. After putting in suitable numbers, a map is formed. Now all you need to do is enjoy the game. Try to avoid obstacles and achieve a success. If failed, you can try it again or just quit the game. Otherwise, a congratulations is sent, and you can also decide whether to continue playing or not. Now let's see another 2 functions which are created to implement the game. The first one is Move Bus, which enables the car to move rightwards every 1.1 second. It generates new cars in the left line, and the right line of cars will disappear. The second function is Change Car. It enables the user to move the player forward, and the car will move downward. The function also generates new cars on top of the map, and the bottom line of the car will disappear. You can also try the infinite mode, which will not set a certain number of rolls to let you win. In this mode, time and rolls are recorded until you fail. It is suitable if you want to test your limits. The infinite mode basically uses the same functions as the classic mode, but the end images are different as the goals of the games are different. So far, you have played all modes in our game. As you might notice, there are always a quit button and a retry button after finishing each single game, so you can quit at any time you want, and you are always welcome to play the game. As an implement, we also use SKR to make the interface more beautiful and more like a real game, as you might notice in the previous part of the video. We make use of it in the main menu, the beginning, and the end of the game.